Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Laajune here. Now we back in another video. Now today we'll be talking about the Suicide Squad reveal that was yesterday, and we'll talk about the good and the bad. There's some things I liked and I'm really excited about when it comes to this game, and there's still some things I'm very worried about. So before we get into it, if you guys are not and you guys like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, have the notifications on so you can miss a video and always be notified when I upload a video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get into it.
2,000 years later.
So when it comes to the video that got released yesterday for Suicide Squad, I have to say they did a really good job re-revealing the game. They covered all the topics that needed to be covered, and they basically just re-revealed the game just for everybody to know that, you know, we're still here. This game is still coming out in February, so I have to say they did a good job. But there's still some things that they really didn't do good at showing, so we're basically going to talk about all of that in today's video. So I'm letting y'all know this now. This is me being 100% truthful. It is literally 3 a.m. in the morning for me. I got off late at work, so I'm just chilling right now. So I'm going to give my list. I have a list right here, basically what I think is good and what I think is bad. So let's get into it. Okay, so for the first thing we do have on the list is the Traversal. I have to say the second half of this video of what they showcased for Suicide Squad, when they showed Traversal, they cooked. I'm just being honest, they cooked. The ones that stand out the most to me is Harley and Captain Boomerang. Their traversal looks super fun, where Harley just traversing with the bat drone and with her diving, like it looks so fluid and clean compared to what they showcased at the state of play. Because at the state of play, it looked very choppy when it comes to Harley Quinn swinging on the bat drone. So I like that they fixed it up and gave it more polish, so it looks very fluent. Same thing for Captain Boomerang. Like, even in the state of play, it looked good, but it just looked even better now because he is really moving around with the Speed Force gauntlets. They are cooking for real. Now, when it comes to Deadshot looks all right. I mean, it's pretty much what you expect. It's a jetpack. He's flying around. It's nothing crazy like Harley Quinn and Deadshot and Captain Boomerang. I'm sorry. Bruh. And King Shark. King Shark is pretty basic, if I'm gonna be honest. All he really does is jump super high, which he jumps really high, like the Hulk type high. He gets moving, especially when he's climbing up a wall. That dude can move, so I like his movement. But overall, his basic traversal is pretty basic, so I don't know. I feel like it's all right for what it is, but the standouts to me is Harley Quinn and Captain Boomerang. They really did their thing on that one. All right, so for the next thing we do have on the list is that the quality of the cinematics and the story so far. So what they show like the beginning of the game itself, where the squad actually meets up with each other, and their dialogue is really nice. I like how they just flow with each other already, especially with the little Easter eggs they have with Harley Quinn grieving over Poison Ivy's death still, which, you know, the game is connected to Arkham, so, you know, if you know Arkham Knight, Poison Ivy quote unquote died. So I like that they have the connection to the old Batman games here and there, but the dialogue between everyone once they met up with the corrupted Green Lantern, when the Flash and Green Lantern fought each other, it just overall seems like Rocksteady has gotten the basic feel of what the Suicide Squad is supposed to be and how they're supposed to feel in the tempo behind the story as well. And when it comes to the story, I feel like Rocksteady really knows what they're going to be doing with this and have everything in line of what they want to do. So the story seems like it's going to be fine. It's going to be fun, bombastic, what the Suicide Squad is. It's just, we really just have to worry about when it comes to the live service stuff and the gameplay. That's really the only thing that's overall going to be the skeptic or like the dark shadow behind this game so far. And the next thing we're going to get into is the gameplay and the gunplay. We're going to do 2 in 1. So if we're going to go in terms of gunplay, it looks super smooth. I like the way the guns feel. If we're going to compare it to the Sony state of play, it looks completely smoother, like they made it more put more time into it to make it more fluent. And I like the way the guns shoot, and I like the way they sound too. They sound pretty much like how guns would, but the overall action of us seeing them in action with using the guns and all that, it seems pretty cool. And I like how the gameplay looks for Harley Quinn, where she's swinging on the pole and shooting enemies at the same time. I feel like that's going to be difficult to do, and they had the HUD off the whole time, so we actually couldn't see the reticle, what weapons she had, her abilities, the cooldowns, all that good stuff. So we couldn't really see nothing at all. but I really feel like if you're swinging on that pole and you're shooting enemies at the same time, it's going to probably end up messing up your gunplay. So you're gonna have to be very accurate. But then again, you can't switch it up with the melee and go in and do your thing with that one. So I like the overall feel of the gunplay that I've seen so far, and the gameplay looks smooth as well. Like, come on now. If we go compare it to the state of play, it looks completely smooth and fluent compared to that. So I'm very, very glad that they actually cooked up on that. Now, we didn't really get to see a lot of gameplay, honestly, because they really was just showcasing overall with the re-reveal of the game, showcasing story stuff, some stuff that we know overall about the game itself. It's just basically just doing a re-reveal. So the gameplay was there, but it wasn't like an in-depth thing about going into the gameplay. We just learned about a few things about what the melee, if you hit an enemy, you can actually do critical damage with your guns, and you can actually do like a counter system. And I'm surprised this game even has a counter system. You can shoot enemies and you basically counter them, and they will react certain ways to when you shoot them and doing that counter. So I'm really interested to see how all this goes down, to be honest. So that's pretty much all the good so far. I know the next video we're going to be getting for the Suicide Squad is going to go in depth when it comes to the combat, the guns, and the gear. So I'm very interested to see how that goes down. But all the good things have to come to an end. We're about to get into the bad, and let's just get into it. Ain't no discussion and all like that. Let's get into it. So when it comes down to the bad, there's only really 3 things I really did not like that they showcased in the trailer or what they were revealed in the trailer. So let's get on to that. The first thing that we have to talk about is the online only. So it seems like online only is still going to be a thing, unfortunately. I really don't like that, because if the servers somehow go out of whack or they shut down some type of way, we're not going to be able to play the game at all. We're going to have to wait for the servers to come back up, or when they're done with maintenance or something like that, or they just randomly go off for some reason. We're not going to be able to play the game at all. So I really hope in the future or somehow they could change this, because it makes no sense. Especially since it's going to be tied to the servers. We're not going to be able to play the game if the game somehow shuts down. So hopefully in the future they could change this, because this will heavily affect the game in the long run. I personally feel like, but there's probably some dev things that go behind them why they have it online only. So we really don't know at the end of the day. But if they do change it, that'll be fine. But if they can't change it, or they give us a good enough reason for them why it's like this, then hopefully they can explain why, because online only to me is a L, if I'm being real. Now let's be real, it's 2023, it's about to be 2024. If you don't have internet, there's only 2 reasons why. You're in the woods, or you have an unfortunate life situation where you can't have internet, which I'm not blaming you. You know, it is what it is. I know how life is, but it is very easy to have internet access. I feel like almost majority of people have internet access, just some don't. I don't know everybody's situation, but I feel like having internet access in 2023 is pretty easy to get, to be honest, in my opinion. But I'm not slacking, not saying that, oh, just go get some internet. It's really easy to get it. Go get it and you can just play the game. I know it's not as simple as that, but I feel like it's very easy to have internet access, to be honest. And I don't agree with them having online only at all. Hopefully they change in the future, but we really just gotta see it at the end of the day. Now, the next thing I did not like is the free DLC. So it seemed like they're sticking on to that free DLC stuff. I really dislike this. Like, I don't like it at all, because if they're going to be relying on a free DLC, the only way they are making money is from the battle pass, which they did state will be seasonal, so it will be continuously being updated, which is the good thing. I like the fact that they're doing that, but they're only making money off of the battle pass, the skin sales, and the initial sales of the game itself. That is the only way they are making money. They're not making money no way else. That is the only way they're making money. And that's if the game sells bad. If the game sells bad, they're going to be in more depth. They're not going to be making back a profit at all. But it will change. Like, let's say for instance, the game sells well, super well, and it does good. Then that's a whole different story. The free DLC thing is no problem at all, because they made their money back. You're in a good situation when it comes to money wise, so they can continuously update the game and not have to worry about falling behind or not making that profit. So It really depends. I just don't know because we don't know how the game is going to sell. We don't know how, if it's going to be good or bad. We just don't know at the end of the day. But I just feel like personally, free DLC is not a good thing because honestly, sometimes when it comes to free DLC, companies, they kind of slack off with it a little bit. There's some companies that don't at all when they do free DLC. They actually have some of the DLCs packed even though if it's free. So I don't know. We really got to see how stacked these DLCs are going to be for Suicide Squad, and if they're packed, honestly, if it's free and it's packed, that would be insane that they're giving us that much for free. But if they eventually do make it to pay, where we have to pay for DLCs and they're stacked and loaded with stuff of content that we can actually do with unlockable unlockable villains, new events, or just new overall missions that we can play, replayability and all that stuff like that. If that is all a part of it and we get new story missions, then it is understandable for them to do paid DLC. But we really just got to see it at the end of the day. I don't know. It's very touchy subject because when it comes to monetization in a live service game, you gotta have a middle ground of, you have to make money, but then again, you don't want to make it scummy or make it seem like it is, oh, you gotta pay this to experience the full game or something like that. So I don't know. We really just gotta wait and see what goes down when it comes to that. So I don't know. It's pretty much a pending type of situation when it comes to this free DLC. And the last one we do have is the lack of melee combat and ability showcase. Now, of course, we do know that the next video that they will be showcasing will be all about combat, the weapons, and basically the gear. So we're going to be expecting that. So this can completely change once this video does come out with the new combat and melee, all that good stuff I just said. But the way they showcased it in this trailer, it didn't look good. It really did not look good at all. Like, the gunplay was good, but the way they showcased the melee, I gotta take a sip for that one. It did not look good at all. It really didn't. Hopefully in the future they can just show more, because we do know we have a suicide strike, which is a one shot to any enemy that we can fight. So that's pretty cool that we can do that, but it's a longer build up to get the suicide strike compared to just doing regular melee combos. So we go to see what they do, but I like the way they implemented where you have melee combos where if you could juggle an enemy and you shoot them, your weapon's going to be doing more damage since you applied that extra damage with your melee hits. So it seems like they're going to have it in there where you can actually combo with your melee to do more damage if you want to do more damage. So that's cool and all, but we just got to see more melee. Granted, I know Rocksteady said this game is a shooter, so shooting is going to be the main thing they're going to be doing, obviously, but you got to throw some stuff in there with the melee and the abilities, because we really didn't see no abilities as well. We just saw more of gameplay when it comes to gunplay, and we saw a little bit of melee for some of the characters, which honestly didn't look that heat at all. But we're going to see eventually once that new video does come out. But that's pretty much all the nitpicks and the good and bad I had when it comes to this trailer that dropped yesterday for Suicide Squad. So I have to say, as I stated at the beginning of the video, I am excited for this game, but I'm still worried a little bit. But we're going to see eventually when more of these videos come out if this opinion does change. But let me know in the comments how you guys feel about everything that was revealed yesterday for Suicide Squad. Are you still excited? Or are you still on the fence? Or you in the middle? Or you really don't care about the game at all? That's pretty much it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed as I enjoyed making it. It's Laajune here, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.